Want to learn how I manifest? Well, in this episode, you're going to learn the 3-step process that I use to get everything I want. Let's go. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to season 2 of the Soul-Led Millionaire. I am so excited to be bringing this season to you because we are up to date now. These are all new episodes coming to you, brand new, recorded live in this year. So I thought a great way to get started is to talk about manifestation and specifically how I manifest, because I know I've been asked a lot how I manifest or certain ways to manifest. And if you yourself are on your manifestation journey, or if you just love discussing manifestation, and maybe you want to hear how someone else does it, or you're a little bit confused on what to do, or there's so many things that you've heard of what to do that you don't know what to do, this is the perfect episode. So, when we talk about manifesting, a lot of people make the mistake of looking at it like it's about getting something, right? It's about picking your goals and your desires and going out and getting them. But the truth is, what manifestation really is, it's about being. It's about embodying. It's about becoming the version of yourself, which is usually the best version of you, the highest version of you. It's about becoming that version who naturally attracts all the things that she desires as a result of being this person, right? As a result of embodying this state of the person you want to be. It's a really important distinction, but it's also a really beautiful thing when you look at it, right? It's not about trying to achieve. Like, that's really easy to do. Like, anyone can go and try to achieve something. But to become someone entirely different in the process, in your heart, it doesn't mean you actually have to change your entire identity, but you become different within your soul, that it magnetically attracts everything to you, is such a beautiful, and let's be honest, it's more challenging to do. It's so easy to just move back into default thinking, move back into going through the motions than it is to stay consciously deliberate about your vibration, about your frequency, about your mood, about who you're being in every moment. It's so much easier to do the unconscious stuff, right? So when it's no longer about what we're trying to get, but who we're being, it's a really beautiful way to start taking your attention off what's outside of you and bringing it within, and paying attention to soul, and paying attention to your heart, paying attention to what lights you up, what feels good, and starting to shift and move within you who you want to be. So, for example, maybe you want to lead an abundant life. You want to have an abundance mindset. You just want life to be easier. You don't necessarily want to be the richest person in the world, but you would like life to be easier. You would like to have financial resources. You would like to have nice things. But what you find is you wake up each day in a state of lack, in a state of fear. And it might not be so obvious. It might be sort of a low grade fear or doubt or worry, but it stays with you and it slightly eats away at you. It's almost like a program running in the background. You don't know it's on, but you can feel it. So the point of switching from a getting mindset to an being mindset is that you can easily clean that up. You can easily notice where you're feeling the doubt, where you're feeling scared, where you're feeling worried, and you can shift in that moment. You have all the control over that. You don't have control of the events that happen externally. You have control over how you are perceiving a moment at any time. With saying that, I want to get into how I actually manifest and what that looks like. It's very simple. But now that you understand that it's not about getting, it's about being, and that when you are being, you can switch into who you want to be at any moment, no matter how you're feeling. You can use this manifestation process, if you like, you don't have to, but you can use this manifestation process to help you get into that beautiful state and constantly switch back into when you're not there. Okay? So, without further ado, this is how I manifest. Step 1, I go straight to the end. I live in the end. I live in that end state where it's done. I decided that it was easy and that it's done. It's always effortless and there's nothing left to do. And when you're in this end state, some people call it the wish fulfilled. Some people call it living in the end. Some people call it it's done. It's done state. Whatever you like to call it, when you're there, you're in the state of completion. You're in the state of fullness. You're in the state of wholeness. You're in the state of, I have a full cup. There's nothing I need to do. It's already mine. It's already done. I already have everything I want, but I'm also the person that I want to be. I am the person now that I wanted to be when I had it all. And I'm also that person now that I have it all. Right? So when I talk about going to the end, I don't actually mean going to the end of the current desires that you have. I don't mean you're in the state where you have just manifested them and you have them all. Say, like, you wanted to manifest a house and a car and, I don't know, a baby this year. I'm not at that end state. I'm talking about the ultimate end state where you have every single thing you could possibly desire. You are the best version of yourself. And anything that you may want to desire in the future, that's also included. So I don't have to know everything that I want, but I'm in that end state where it's like an all-encompassing feeling, right? And when you're in this beautiful state, it's so easy to just move into that state of wholeness, of fullness, of feeling completely full, completely satisfied, completely complete. And from this state of completion, what happens is that because you are emitting a vibrational frequency of completion, of fullness, of satisfaction, of wholeness, that is what's coming back to you, right? Because everything's a reflection of you. Everyone's you pushed out. The universe mirrors back to you what you are emitting. So therefore, it's constantly sending you more and more things to be complete by. And more often than not, it's what you desire and better than what you desire. And so that's why I love going into this place of total relaxation, total relief, because it's all done. And I can be in this peace, this knowing. And what that does is, as an individual, it radiates out. It radiates out to other people. It radiates out to the universe. We know what it does with the universe, but to other people, it's so amazing how other people change towards you. You become like this magnetic, attractive, beautiful beacon, and the right people gravitate towards you, and you get to meet really amazing people, or you get to deepen relationships that you already have because you are now coming from this full cup, this beautiful, fulfilled state. So there is nothing that you're trying to get or trying to persuade or trying to do with another person with like ill intent. Not saying that you ever have ill intent, but when you're hurt or when you're struggling, we project it out. You aren't doing any of that because you are in that fulfilled state. So you are literally the best version of yourself. And when you're the best version of yourself, the entire world benefits, right? Because you're not projecting anymore. You're not reacting to everything. You're not projecting what's going on within, because within you are living in a beautiful state. Instead, what you are projecting is beauty. It's magnetism. It's grace. It's kindness. It's friendliness. It is a welcoming, nurturing presence, right? As you can see, this is so much more than just manifesting. But anyway, that was step 1. That's what I do. I go straight to the end. I live in the end state. It's all done. The second step is that I skip the how entirely. So this is where everyone gets stuck. I have gotten stuck here many, 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 many times before, where you get stuck in the how, where you get stuck in the details of how it's going to happen. And for me, with money, I got really stuck in the how. Like, I need to sell this much of this product, or I need to go and create this kind of offer. I need to sell this type of product, or I need to create this strategy or whatever. And I got really stuck in the details of how to make it happen, when really all I needed to do was go back into that end state, go back into the completion state. And what would happen is either money would just start coming in without me trying to sell anything. It would just be random sales. Or the moves, the guidance would come from within, and I would know exactly what to do. And it would be the easiest, simplest thing ever. It would be nothing like how complicated I was making it. And so from that place, when I go to the end state and I'm there and I'm trying to figure something out in real time, essentially what you're doing is you're handing it back over, because you're like, I'm done. This is done. I'm complete. I'm full. So the moves naturally come of how to get there quickly, because now that you're in that completion state, the moves and the ideas and the action steps are coming to you from that place of completion. Okay? So when people get caught up in the how, when they get caught up in the control of trying to make it happen, is they're not in that completion state. They're not in the end state. They're not in the wish fulfilled. They're in a place of lack. They're in a place of, I don't have this thing yet, and I need to go out and make it happen so that I can either feel full, I can feel satisfied, I can be happy, whatever it is, whatever the reason is you're going after something. But the problem is you are never full, because you are always living in a lack state, right? You never become full. Even when you get the thing, you need to get more. So like, say you're going after $10,000 months and you're coming at it from a place of lack. And it may be a really subtle lack. It may be something like sort of hidden behind I'm hungry, I'm a goal-getter, I'm an achiever, I want to hit 10K months. And then you hit it, and then you're like, I don't feel how I thought I was going to feel, so I need to go after 20K months, because then that will make me feel more safe, more secure, more financially independent, whatever it is. But if you go just straight to the end of whatever it is you want, you don't have to be specific, but you can if you want. Everything happens differently. It happens backwards. When you go straight to the end, the moves, the action steps come from within, and they take you right to the result. You don't have to get caught up in what strategy to use, what words sell, how to write your sales page, how to, send the right emails, the right amount of emails, what to put in your product. You don't have to think about any of that, because it's all from within, because you're already there in the quantum, I guess you could say. Okay, so that's step 2. Now, step 3 is I stay connected to source. Right? I stay connected. This is the only thing you really have to do once you've decided and once you live in the end, is you tune in, feel into the heart of the universal consciousness. You receive your guidance if there is any, and you just bask in the overpowering love that the universe has for you. And the more that you live here, the more you're operating from the quantum field, right? And the more you operate from there, the closer you are to source and God and miracles. And so what I find that now, compared to when I first started my manifestation journey, like when you start, you're trying different things to see what works for you. And then you sort of carve out a routine or a practice that really, really works and you really vibe with. And then what I've found is from there, I've gotten into this place where I trust again, because I didn't trust the universe. I didn't trust that everything was sort of working out for me. And I had to build that muscle. I had to build my faith and trust muscle. And now that I'm there, all I do is I stay connected to source. If there is a moment where I feel a little bit of fear, I just hand it back over to the universe. I don't necessarily do the journaling work that I used to do. And I want to make a side note about that soon, but I don't necessarily do the journal work that I used to do, because I know these beliefs that come up. They are the same beliefs in different form. It's the same thing. Every time it's the same thing that I'm having trouble with. So I know now that I don't need to constantly reframe it. I don't need to release it or clear it, because I've done it so many times. Instead, I need to hand it over to the universe. I just hand it over. And what I find is the second I hand it over, I let it go. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm like, okay, you've got this. You can heal this. Thank you. I'm just going to go back to the end state. This is the place that I love being. And that's all I need to do now. Now, in saying that, when you are learning to build your manifestation muscles, you need to go through the motions. You need to do the journaling work. I still will do journaling if it's like a really intense belief, a really strong fear. I will still do the releasing and clearing work, right? I will do all the things. It's not just journaling. I'll do all like the EFT, the breath work and stuff. If it's like a really, really intense fear that I cannot shift in the moment, I'll do everything. And once I've reset that by every means necessary, I will come back to the end state. I'll come back to the end state of the place where I'm fulfilled, I'm complete. And I'm always reminded when I come back to this place that all I have to do is hand it over. It's not mine to handle on my own. It's for the universe to take. I just hand it back over. And this keeps me connected to source. This also has created a dynamic, and it came over time. It didn't happen straight away, where because I could hand it over, I felt like I could trust that the universe is looking out for me. It's got my back. And so now when I do that, I always feel like I'm sort of wrapped in a cocoon or wrapped in a blanket of just love and support and nurturing. And it instantly switches me back into the state of completion. And I find that is just so beautiful and so powerful that over time I have managed to build this trust, because I was really concerned that I was never actually going to trust the universe and never actually let go of control. And once I finally did, through this continuous practice, it's just so beautiful that there is this trust there. And I know that when I hand it over, everything's going to be okay, because I can go back to doing what I do best, which is living in the end state, creating the life and creating the person that I want to be in each moment and being the person that I want to be. And all of the rest gets transcended and mutated into, transmutated into something else, right? So those are the 3 steps. There is a 4th, which isn't actually a step. It's just something I like to put in. And that is to watch everything manifest effortlessly. So when you have a devoted relationship with Source, magic and manifestation happens every single day. When you're living in the end, every day is magical. Every day is beautiful. Every day you are constantly shown proof and evidence and results of your vibration. Whether it is through, like if you have a business, if it's through people messaging you saying how much they love your vibe, saying how much they love your work, saying how much your work has changed your life, saying what you said in this particular podcast episode absolutely resonated with them. It can be through the form of sales. People just signing up for the programs that you're selling or the services that you're selling, or random products that maybe before, when you weren't doing the work, wasn't happening. But now that you are living in that end state, they're just coming through and you're not even trying to sell anything. They're just selling for you. It's a really beautiful thing to watch happen in real time, because it's showing you proof. It's showing you the results of your vibrational work. And I honestly couldn't do my business without it. I couldn't do life without this way of living. Living in that end state, knowing that no matter what is happening, no matter what you've gone through, no matter if you're having a bad day or a bad year, that you can bounce back, that you can shift back into the state, and it all shifts like that. It's not like you have to stay in the state and then you have to practice and practice and practice and practice for years until shit starts happening. It happens straight away. You get evidence and proof straight away. So if you are in this place, if you are wanting to have a deeper relationship with the universe and with yourself, I fully recommend to do this manifestation practice. It's very simple. Go straight to the end, skip the how, and stay connected to the universe or source. That's it. That's it. If you need any simplified practice, that's it. And I promise you, you will feel so incredible, so amazing, uplifted, vibrant. You will feel light, you'll feel fulfilled, you'll feel like life is magical. You will find that spark again. I know life's been so heavy recently over the last few years, but you can come back to this place of wholeness, of fullness, of magic, of love, of wonder, because you have full control over your internal state. It's an illusion that we have control over anything else. So, my love, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would love to know from you what you resonated with the most from this episode. What part really spoke to you? DM me on Instagram or send me an email. Either way, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you again next week.